Hello, my name is Taylor Hopkins. I am a graduate student at Morningside College, as well as I teach in Waterloo, Iowa. The title of my research project is The Effects of Explicit Instruction and Growth Mindset on Reading Rate. The research problem is that teachers are now required to assess their students using the FAST system, which stands for Formative Assessment for Teachers. This is a state-mandated test for students where students are categorized by proficient and non-proficient based on the grade level benchmarks provided in the system. With the increase in assessments being required by teachers, more interventions are being used to support the students who are considered non-proficient. I was personally interested in this topic because while there is a variety of academic interventions that can be used, there are not a lot of interventions that are in place to increase student attitudes of themselves and their educational abilities. Carol Dweck has done endless research on the growth mindset theory and have found that people are considered to have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Those who have a fixed mindset believe that intelligence is fixed and cannot be increased. They also have a very difficult time with failure and prefer non-challenging activities. While those with a growth mindset believe that intelligence can be increased and they look for challenges in education and other endeavors. The effects of growth mindset on student attitudes and academics has been studied in research. In 2009, research was conducted and found a connection between fixed mindsets and the number of reported cases of depression. In this study, students completed a self-assessment survey which categorized them into having a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. The study found that those students that had a fixed mindset had a higher number of reported cases of depression in their group than those students who were considered to have a growth mindset. The effects on academics is a study was completed in 2007 that looked at the success of 7th grade students in a math curriculum. The students who were considered to display a growth mindset had more success than those students who were considered to have a fixed mindset, again based on a self-assessment survey that was taken by the students. Research has been conducted on effects of growth mindset on student attitudes and effects on math success and reading comprehension. There is very little research, however, on the effects of growth mindset on foundational reading skills, which are known to affect comprehension and reading skills later in age. The purpose statement is to explore the relationship between explicit instruction in the area of growth mindset and the effects on student achievement and reading rate. The hypothesis of the study is students who received instruction in growth mindset would have an increase in sight word recognition using the FAST universal screening scores from the winter to the spring. Potential impacts on the field of study suggest an increase in sight word recognition. There may also be possible increases in skills in other academic areas such as reading, writing, and math. Educational impacts could be that teachers have a non-academic intervention to implement with students that is available to students who are both proficient and non-proficient in academic areas. This would also allow for teachers to work with students who are below grade level and above grade level. Methodology. The participants of the study were randomly selected first grade students that included 14 who were non-proficient in the universal screener through FAST. There were 7 students assigned to the control group and the experimental group. Within the control group, there was 1 student who received ELL services, while in the experimental group, there were 2 students who received ELL services, as well as 2 students who had IEPs and received special education services. The independent variable for the study is instruction and growth mindset. The dependent variable for the study is student scores from the FAST universal screener. The reliability and validity of FAST included teachers are required to take a training module before they are able to give assessments to the students. There is also 30 states, including 92% of schools in Iowa, that are currently using FAST system. The measures that were used is the FAST Universal Screener scores from the subset of sight words from the winter screener to the spring screener. The procedure that took place in the study was instruction on growth mindset was given twice weekly for 20 minutes to the experimental group. During the 20 minutes of instruction, students engaged in a read aloud by the teacher and then discussed the characters in the story with their peers. They would discuss whether the characters displayed a fixed mindset or a growth mindset and how they possibly changed their mindset throughout the story. Data analysis was collected through scores from the FAST Universal Screener and were analyzed using an independent sample t-test to compare the scores from winter to spring. The results of the study showed that the control group and the experimental group both showed an increase in sight word recognition through the FAST Universal Screener. The standard deviation, mean, and number of participants are both displayed in the table below. The data shows that both the experimental and the control group increased in their means from the winter to the spring. The experimental group did not increase significantly more than the control group. Implications of the study for students include possible increase in success in other academic areas with instruction and growth mindset. It also assists students in self-esteem and confidence in the area of academics, inside of school and outside of school. And there was a possibility of increasing student engagement, participation, and resilience in all academic areas. Implications for educators include having a non-academic intervention that may be used to increase academic skills. It is also a way to support students in gaining confidence and engagement. It is also an extension activity that can be used for students who are considered proficient in all academic areas. Implication for parents is growth mindset provides activities to implement at home in a way that can increase student engagement at school. Outside of homework, students also have the ability to increase their confidence by doing activities at home that don't seem like homework. It also lowers the risk of students developing depression, as was seen in the case study in 2009. It also allows for ownership of learning and increasing intelligence by the students. There were limitations in the study that included the sample size. The sample size that was used in the study was only 14 students, which includes 7 in the control group and 7 in the experimental group. The students were all from first grade classrooms, and they were all considered non-proficient students. In the future, research should be done that includes both non-proficient students and proficient students to see the increase in scores. Another limitation of the study included the assessment that was used. The assessment was used for first grade students on the benchmark and only included the subset of sight words. Instead of using the subset for first grade students, a composition score might have shown a better increase in the experimental group versus the control group. Another limitation that came about from the study was the intervention time. Students were receiving other services such as ELL and special education, which interfered with the intervention time that they would be receiving the instruction and growth mindset. Students missed out on lots of intervention time, which may have negatively affected the outcome of the study. Future research should be done on the effects of growth mindset and FAST on a wide range of ages, including a larger sample size. Students could be included from all ages with the FAST system. A larger sample size would also provide more information and a better study. Future research could also be done using a variety of assessments offered through FAST, or again, looking at the composite scores for first grade students rather than just looking at the subset scores of sight words. Future research could also be done that increases the intervention time and ensures that students are present to see the impact. This would mean that students would either receive a longer intervention time or be ensured that they were available during the intervention time for the 20 minutes twice weekly as designed in the study. Listed here are the references that were used to create this presentation and the research paper. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.